All right. So on this fine Thirsty Thursday, we have D Shap in the morning here with Mr. Eric, who is at the ACI in Cranston, Rhode Island. And welcome to the Thirsty edition of D Shap in the morning.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And so, what's your story for today?
Well, I wanted to talk to you. We got some good things going on, and I want to bring the senator on tomorrow.
Yes.
If we're able to. I talked to him yesterday, Senator Louis DePalma.
Okay.
Rhode Island legislation, and remember I was telling you a while back. I remember we were speaking, and I was letting you know that I was advocating for them bringing vocational training programs here to the department, like trying to get certain vocational training programs, especially in maximum security. And there's a program that they have in San Quentin for computer coding programming.
Sure.
I tapped into, I made contact with Senator Louis DePalma about early last year around this time sometime, and we took it from there. He put everything into place, and the program's coming. Everything's coming along. He's in touch with Brenda Van Messen, who is Van Messia, she's in charge of the Rhode Island Department of Education. She used to be head of it, and then she worked for the Obama administration in the education department. And we got a couple other people that's working on because we need the broadband capabilities here in order to put these things together. So he's really he's carried a torch as far as making it happen. And I'm so happy yesterday when I spoke to him as far as everything's happening. It's gonna go through. He took a tour through here, but he didn't come to Max. He did a tour last week in medium security a week or two ago, and it's just everything's falling into place. And I want to bring him on a show so that way he go about it in depth. He works. He's a computer software engineer. He works for Raytheon and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Brown University.
So that's cool. And of course, this is the last week we're doing D Shap morning for before vacation, of course. So of course not the last week we're doing D Shap morning, but before vacation, of course, because D Shap morning will be on vacation next week because I'm going to Atlanta next week. So we're gonna have a spring break all across the board through all my programs for next week because the computer is just I have to do a lot of traveling. The only show I'll be on is my countdown show.
All right, well, I don't know what the schedule is like. I was trying to see if Rika, because she knows him, throughout this ordeal. Like they've been in, he knows her and stuff like that.
But tomorrow I will have him on before I go on vacation. That'll be cool.
All right, so it's the only thing is he could take at a certain time.
Yes, which I have that coordinated with Rika. So would you be on the same episode as him?
Yeah, it's gonna be me, you, and him, and we're gonna what I wanted to do is I want to bring him on, and then you can either interview us both, or we could both interview him, and then we can talk about what's going on and how far the progress is and what his because this is part of his legacy as well to bring this here to Rhode Island. So
yes.
I want him, I want him to talk about this. And this is big, it's major to bring a program like this here. And I think we're going to be the first on the East Coast to have something like this in this region, or maybe on the whole East Coast at all. So
what's his name again?
His name is Senator Louis DePalma.
Louis DePalma. So he's Italian, of course.
I'm sorry, you say what?
I think he's Italian with that name, Italian.
Yes, he is. He's Italian. Yep, yes. And he's head of the finance. He's head of the finance committee. I mean, he's chairman of the finance committee and he's chairman of the oversight committee.
Yes.
So he said he could tape after. I said about 6 o'clock tomorrow. So
yes.
It's up to you.
Yes.
So 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes.
And you can send Lika. You can send. I'll put you directly in contact. Rika has his contact, so that way you can send him the link and then we can confirm with Rika. She'll confirm with him about 6 o'clock, so we're all on the same schedule.
Yes.
And tomorrow between 6:10, 6:15, around that time, I'll call in, and then he'll call in, and then we'll all.
That's cool. But this will be an airing, of course, on a Thursday, so that should air on a Friday. This Friday, which is tomorrow, on the interview. So a good show tomorrow for the Friday. So what else is going on? Any other news going on in the prison, or anything else going on like that you want to talk about?
Well, I've been watching what's going on in the news out there. Nothing really going on around here but the SEMO, but they're right now they're working on a few things as far as trying to get rid of the solitary confinement. Remember, I was telling you about that.
Yes.
So trying to get rid of the solitary confinement. They're trying to do that. They're working on a bill right now to get rid of that. So some changes are coming as far as them upgrading us on our technology and stuff like that. So we're waiting right now. They got a vendor and stuff like that for certain things. Other than that, I've been watching what's going on out there in the world. I've been watching this Trump indictment thing and
yes, the Trump indictment thing. What are the prisoners saying about the Trump indictment? What's going on?
Well, there was a big discussion on it the other day. I just sat back and listened. It was between a bunch of guys in the block talking about it, and they were saying that, well, is he going to go to prison? I said, I don't think he's going to prison for it, but they was talking about what it would be like for Trump to be in prison. Him coming in a cell, living in the facade. I don't think he's going to prison. I think that they should have never pursued this, me personally, because he just, this is not something that should have went this far. Usually people get fines for campaign,
right?
But let's wait. Let's see what the indictment of those.
I think it's all for a political thing. I really think, and I usually don't get too political on my show, but the thing is, here's what I think. I think if this opens up a whole can of worms, and it's only fueling for his campaign. I mean, what's really going to happen? He's not going to go to prison. He might pay a fine. He might do this. He might actually win. Okay, they say that he actually may win still for president. Again, and here's the thing: this indictment is going to fuel the fire, because he said when he got elected the first time he wanted to press charges against Hillary for the emails. Okay, then President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is not too kosher. Okay. And here's my prediction: it's going to cause a whole new political war, and either Hillary Clinton or Hunter Biden will be next to get charged for something. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? It becomes a thing is that it's almost irony. It's almost karma in a way for him when it comes to stuff like that, because he was champion to lock him up or lock her up and all of this other stuff like that. And it's not really good to be calling for your adversaries or somebody else to be incarcerated. Now the tables is turned. Regardless of whatever it is, that a lot of people is not happy with the fact that he got indicted, and there are those that are reveling in it and they love it and they're like, well, it's retribution. Me, I just draw the line down the middle. I don't think that was something you should have charged him with based on that. But like I said, we don't know. We'll see Tuesday. They say there's a 30-count indictment coming down the pipeline, and there might be some other financial business, bank issues there. Because for the simple fact, something that I paid attention to as the years went on, when it was revealed, like about 6 or 7 months ago, that he lied about his finances, as far as he said that his bathroom was his estate in Trump Tower. He said that instead of it being like 15,000 square foot, he said it was something like 55,000. Now, I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just estimating, but he said it was something like 5,000 square feet, and he was lying in order to get more loans and more stuff. Now, if me and you did that, we would have been charged with financial for people get charged. Watch American Greek. People get charged with that all the time when you inflate your finances in order to get loans from banks.
Now, that'll be federal prison, right?
You said what?
I thought it'd be federal prison if anything.
Yeah. If me and you did that, we'll be sitting in the federal facility right now. If we went to the bank and said that, you said your apartment was, your house was 5,000 square foot, and it was only 2,000 square foot in order to inflate the value of your house in order to get a loan from the bank. That's called bank fraud. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
When I heard these things happen, I said, that's a slippery slope. but also we're in some unprecedented times. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say that for a fact. Like
Get it? Unprecedented, unprecedented times.
Yeah. We could say unprecedented times.
so I always wished Michael Jackson was still alive, because Donald Trump was friends with Michael Jackson when he was alive. Okay, and I want to know what influence Michael Jackson would have had on his campaign or as his friend, because Michael Jackson was friends with Hillary Clinton, the Clintons, and Donald Trump back when he was alive. And Donald Trump always used the friendship that he had with Michael Jackson, back in the day. So I want to know. I would have loved to know what influence Michael Jackson would have had on Donald Trump's presidential, if he was alive during the presidential thing. Of course he wasn't alive. He died many years ago.
A lot of things, Derek, is that people don't really seem to notice, and people tend to forget history, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm big on history and learning about different things and knowing what went on in the past. Yep. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and these people were all friends.
They were.
You know what I mean? Like they were friends. Donald Trump he contributed to Hillary Clinton's campaign.
Yes, he did.
Know what I mean? Bill Clinton's campaign. They went to each other's weddings. Their kids went to each other's kids' weddings. It's like, so these people used to hang out. You remember Donald Trump was a Democrat. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
People tend to forget that. You know what I mean? So now, does that make him a rhino? You know what I'm saying?
And also too, it's all political, because when they say that like people that are racist go to his house in Mar-a-Lago, and people against Jewish people, don't forget his daughter is married to a Jewish guy. Okay, so So the thing is, Kanye West may be a little crazy and nuts, and he might say this about Jewish people, but the thing is, Donald Trump still is friends with Kanye for some reason, and Donald Trump will not be friends with somebody who goes against the daughters and the grandchildren's religion. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you got to hear both. If you're in power, or if you have, you got to be open even to, like I have people that I used to work with. One of my good friends, when I first dated my ex-wife, who was black, he wasn't prejudiced, but he was ignorance. There's a thing about ignorance, and maybe Donald Trump invites these people that's over to teach people about ignorance. I mean, I don't think Donald Trump is a what do you call it, a bigot or a against Jewish people, because again, because he's friends with blacks, Jewish people, but I think Donald Trump has a way to influence other people not to be prejudiced. He comes out different ways and be prejudiced. You know what I'm saying? But
know what? He's an opportunist. Right?
Thank you. Thank you.
If you're down with him, he's down with you.
Thank you.
And I think it's just about his interest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, there were some racial practices and some of the things that he had people around him that was blowing the dog whistles. Like, I'm not, I read code and in between the words and code words for certain things that he used to say, and the guys that he had around him that set up his campaign and that was running with him. Like I said, he was an opportunist. That's why he went from a Democrat to a Republican.
Yes.
Republican, because he's seen an opportunity. He's seen a niche where he could get into a party where they needed a voice to say what they wanted them to say and what they were feeling at that time. And they had their guy to say these things without any remorse, without worried about being canceled, without worried about being targeted. Because guess what? He's rich, he's powerful, and he made people to believe that he's fighting for them. That's their voice. That's why he makes it about them when he's being indicted. He says, they're coming after us. I'm fighting for you. They're coming after us. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't like the guy's policies on a lot of stuff that he did, as far as when it came to some of the things that he did when it came to the prisons, and how he told Jeff Sessions don't get involved in any of the prisons. Like, Alabama's prisons were so dilapidated and dangerous, where 135 inmates died within a few months or a year in there, something like that. And he told Jeff Sessions at the time, Attorney General, don't get involved to enforce any consent decrees between the federal government coming in and making sure that the prisons are enforcing the civil rights or upholding the civil rights of their prisoners. He refused to do that. So some of those things, there's a lot of things that he did, like, I don't want to get deep down into the weeds with it because we don't have the time, but those are the things I disagree. But when it comes to his smarts, as far as him, seizing on an opportunity, being able to use the opportunity to be able to put himself in a better advantage, or know how to punch back, and that I respect that stuff.
I think that the people did not give him enough credit for the COVID thing, because he's the one that rolled out the vaccines, okay, before President Biden was in office, okay, and I used to be a hardcore liberal before the pandemic, and the pandemic woke me up with certain stuff. I mean, I could talk to you. I mean, I talked to my ex-brother-in-law, different people about what's going on in reality, which I can't discuss on Shap in the morning. So, but the thing is, Donald Trump did some smart things during the pandemic, which people don't give him credit for, and which I'm more of an independent guy now. I mean, I was die hard against Trump back in the day. I did not vote for Hillary or Trump after Obama's whole thing. When it was Hillary and Donald Trump, I voted for the independent guy. And because I could not clearly vote for Hillary, and I could not clearly vote for Trump. But the second time around, I still voted for the independent guy. I still did. During Trump's re-election, I couldn't really still vote for Trump yet. But this time around, I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I mean, if Trump
passes. One thing with this Ron, like, I keep hearing him talk about Ron DeSantis, right? And there is no way I see a path to him winning, right?
Right.
A national election against Joe Biden or somebody like that. You have to include minority groups in your thing. And what he's doing right now with this culture war against wokeness and all of this stuff that he's doing and stuff like that, that stuff placates to your voters in the state like Florida. But when you reach outside of the state of Florida, that doesn't put you on a path to the electoral votes that you need.
But Joe Biden has to do more too. I wish it was somebody instead of Joe Biden, there was somebody in the Democratic field that would.
I think so too. I think they need young blood. I think they do. I think they need young blood there. I think we need some newer people there to
I like Bernie Sanders. I like Bernie Sanders. I like Bernie Sanders. I thought Bernie Sanders. He has a lot of interesting ideas, but people didn't give Bernie Sanders enough credit. Like my friend Vinny Bucci, he's a diehard Donald Trump fan. He always said, if it was Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, he's the only one that could beat out Donald Trump is Bernie Sanders, But the Democrats never got the opportunity to really push Bernie Sanders because they were too afraid of his radical ideas, okay? But Bernie Sanders is a smart guy, he's from Vermont, I don't know any good young people in the Democratic field that could really beat out. But it has to be something better than Joe Biden, because Joe Biden, I mean, I don't know. I can't take another 4 years after Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how this election season goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, the thing is with Bernie is, like, I like some of his stuff. I like some of the things he said, but Bernie's too radical for too many people. Bernie's too radical for a lot of people.
Right.
But and that's what it is. Like, he's too radical for a lot of people. Then people start getting into the. He does admit that he's a socialist. He's a socialist, and he has socialistic views. So a lot of people will run from that. You know what I mean? But not saying to be one of his policies. Like you have 1 minute left. I think we need people. I think there's a few other candidates. That I believe that we need to. That we need to start looking into younger guys, like you see guys that stepped in. You got guys like Hakeem Jeffries and all of these guys that are coming. Even though he's not going to run now, but those are the new blooded guys. A younger woman or somebody younger that we can get in there that can walk the line right now. And you got to have the charisma. If you don't have the charisma and you don't have that special that ability to be able to think fast on your feet and woo the people, it don't matter how smart you are, what your policies are. You're not going to win the presidency.
Someday Derek Shapiro and Eric. All right.
That'd be beautiful. Listen, it says 60 seconds, so I'm gonna give you a call. It was great talking to everybody out there. Everybody have a blessed Thursday afternoon. Enjoy yourself. Take it easy. Enjoy the weather. And
we'll see you tomorrow.
All
right. Goodbye. All right. More entertainment news coming up now. D Shap in the morning.